Hey, how's it going? It is Mr. Warner, and we are going to go over our very first ecology assignment. Awesome, great, grand, beautiful. So let me take you through the structure of how this whole entire digital learning is going to look like. Okay, so I asked you to go outside and just write down a list of living and non-living things that you saw. Okay, so I've got a picture of Central Park right here. That's fine. And let me just, before we get into the actual material, let's talk about what each of these are going to look like. Each of the layouts of these YouTube videos are going to look like, or whatever website I use. Okay, we're going to go down. We're going to talk about some stuff, and you're going to eventually see a line. Okay, I always start with a green line right here. Boom. That means we're going to stop and we're going to do some other activity. I'm going to stop and I'm going to say, go do this. Okay, and that will be prepared for you. After that, we're going to continue with other stuff. We're going to talk about other stuff. Then when boom, we got a yellow stop. And then we've got some more stuff. Who is that good looking guy? Whoa. Good content to come, I guess, right? Got more and more stuff, more and more stuff. Orange, stop. More and more stuff, more and more stuff. Boom, red, stop. At a red point, you will get your homework assignment for the day, for the next few days. Okay, cool. If you have any questions, let me know. But for right now, that's what it's going to look like. That's how I think we have the most fluid, successful little video recording. So let's get started. You went outside and you saw some living and non-living stuff, right? Great, good for you. Hopefully you got most of this stuff right. And we're just starting easy, right? Just go outside, look around, find some stuff. If you stare long enough, you can actually see a lot of life just kind of moving around below you, bugs and stuff. Let me move this camera down a little bit. Let me see if that works. Yeah, so you can see my fingers. Great. So let's just go through this, right? We've got, which way should I want to get more in the center. There we go. So I had you make a list of living and non-living things. So let's just go down here. I'll just look at this picture, okay? Living, we've got like grass right here. We've got some people outside living their life. We've got some grass right here. We got little babies up in there. Oh, I bet we have a little bird. Oh, this is Central Park, so you know there's Canadian geese pooping everywhere, just making your life miserable. I'm sure there's some birdage flying around. Some things you don't see that are living, you probably see some, or you probably wouldn't see, bacteria, microorganisms that live in soil that make it extremely biodiverse, I guess is a word you could say, biodiverse. What that just means is many types of living things. Let's move on to our non-living things. We've got like a handrail here. That is non-living. It never was alive. It's not dead. We've got this very dangerous thing that I disagree with existing at Central Park, this rope thing. I get to like right there, and then I get too scared. I can never touch the top. This is non-living, and I bet it could make some dead things too. I'm surprised nobody has died from that thing. Can I just be honest? That is fantastic that nobody's been severely injured. Anyway, rocks, cement, the sky, the clouds, the air. You can't really see the atmosphere here, but all of those things are non-living. So today is going to be defining terminology. Okay, so when I say living and non-living, well, there's also other words for that. Living things that interact with the ecosystem, this whole entire ecosystem here, or what we'd call biotic. Biotic. Biotic has the root word bio. And if it's non-living, it's called abiotic. So if you put an A in front of something, it means like not, right? So like with COVID, asymptomatic people. Well, if you have symptomatic people, it's people who are showing symptoms, but asymptomatic means they have COVID, but they're not showing any symptoms. So not symptomatic. Atypical. Atypical means not typical. Atheist means no belief in God. So if you heard like an atheist, there is no God versus a theist, right? So those are some A words that I'm allowed to say on camera. Let's move on. Okay, so let's break down these arrows right here from living or from biotic organisms that impact this ecosystem. By the way, abiotic and biotic organisms both, or I'm sorry, biotic and abiotic things in an ecosystem all impact the ecosystem around it, right? So if one of these things were removed, it would be filled in by something else in that ecosystem, right? So like if you took away this abiotic rock, it might be filled in with more biotic bugs. I don't know. But all of these things interact with each other in small ways that you might not even realize, right? Like, for example, you remove this tree and you inadvertently remove other things as well. You remove a lot of small, like bug species. You remove a place for a bird to perch. All of these things you have to take into consideration when you're looking at an ecosystem. Just small things. Just take notice of. Okay, if we were to break down living organisms into two categories, what is this? I'm getting the hair side wrong. This thing right here, I'm going to turn, and that needs to just go away. That needs to go away. See that? That's gone now. Great. If we could break down living or biotic things into two categories, we would categorize them based on how they get their energy. Okay, that's how scientists have broken down, at least in this category here, how they get their energy. Okay, because how an organism gets its energy tells you a lot about. Moving up. Tells you a lot about how an organism sits in the big tree of life. Okay, so you've got autotroph and heterotroph right here. Boom, boom, boom. And if you'll notice, both of these words have something in common. Let's move this over here. Both of these, I wonder if I can move it over. Wait, no, I can't. Both of these words have something in common, and it is the word troph. Do you know what the word troph means? Silence. We'll wait for it. Do you know what the word troph means? No, no, no. The word troph means energy. Okay, so auto energy and hetero energy. Okay, well, let's define autotroph. An autotroph is any living organism that makes energy, troph, by itself. So the word prefix means by itself, like automobile, right? Automobile, it's a mobile device, or it's a moving thing, right? That moves by itself, kind of. Like you got to put the gas, you got to give it some gas. But automatic means something does it by itself, right? So what organisms are autotrophic? Well, we say organisms are autotrophic if they receive their energy and make it themselves. They make their food by themselves, and we would call those plants. Okay, they're just plants. Plants equal autotroph for the most part. For the most part, yeah, for the most part. Heterotroph. Hetero means different. Okay, so first one that comes to mind, heterosexual, right? You are attracted to the different or another sex, right? So hetero means different. So energy different or different energy. Heterotroph, as you can see here, is any living organism that makes its energy by consuming nutrients from other organisms or different organisms, right? That makes sense. Heterotroph. So what are you? Like you get up and you go and make your own food. You do it by yourself. Are you an autotroph? No. You are a heterotroph because you're getting energy from another source. Okay. Essentially, plants, not plants. Plants, not plants. Plants, not plants. For the most part. We would also call these guys over here, we would call heterotrophs consumers, because if they're getting their energy from another organism or source, they're consuming it typically, as opposed to an autotroph, they are getting their energy from themselves and they are producing it themselves. So we call them a producer. Okay. So if we could break down consumers even more, just to do it, there are different levels. Oh, wait, we gotta stop. I didn't even follow my own rule. I'm sorry. We hit that first stop point right there. So I want you to go over to this assignment. You will find this assignment in modules, and it will be called Autotroph, Heterotroph, sorting activity. Yeah, it's the best I got. Yeah. Now what I want you to do is I want you to put these in the category where you think they belong. For example, a baby. Is a baby an autotroph or a heterotroph? Does it make its own food? Or does it rely on other organisms for energy or food? Well, that one's easy, right? We know that babies are heterotrophs. So you can just draw an arrow over there. You can just write it over there. It doesn't matter. Write it down in a notebook. I don't care. Just do it. And we'll meet back shortly. See you later.